Honestly, deadass, I want to date an artist. Like, I just learned about how the movie Lost in Translation and the movie Her were both, like, allegedly two different movies about the same divorce from different perspectives. And I just was like, holy fucking shit. I kind of want that. Not a divorce, not a divorce. Well, but even though I wouldn't be shocked if I do get one for a lot of reasons. Like, no offense, we've seen how my dating life is like. But more so in the sense of, I want someone that loves me to the point of creation. I want someone that looks at me and goes, I want her life to get better. Or I want to capture her beauty. I want someone that sees me as so beautiful that they're like, I must like paint her, and I want to capture the exact same shade of her eyes. How it looks in the dark, how it looks in the light, the little flecks of green and gold in those nice brown eyes of hers with the thick black rim. I want someone who sees me as art. I see art in all of the people I love, and that's why some of my breakups can be so prolonged and tragic. It's like, yeah, I saw beauty in my ex Jared's eyes. I thought he has the most beautiful, like cerulean, like blue and green eyes with this gold starburst in the middle. And when the light hits them just right, it reminds me of all the reasons I fell in love with him. Did it work out? No. But, it's okay. His eyes still looked like a vision, like some sort of other planet. I still liked Alex a lot. I could write poems about Alex's beauty. I liked that he had sexy snake like eyes that honestly foreshadowed his intentions with me. I liked that his eyes were like nice, big, deep cups of coffee, just filled to the brim with honey, just like deep and sweet and dark. I loved them. My ex boyfriend Liam's eyes, his eyes looked like something sweet and fun, like Scooby Doo gummies, just like his personality. But if I wanted to get even more romantic, I'd say they looked like the sky at the exact same hour of the day that I love to be awake at. His eyes remind me of like a foggy 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. morning, just bright and blue with a bit of sadness in them. And yet they always cheer me up when I look at them. I want to date a poet, not just some toxic motherfucker who's entertaining like six other girls, which is another guy I'd been seeing recently who was a writer, but ironically he did get me back into writing, so I guess I'm still grateful I met him. I'm not grateful for the damage he did on his way out, but I guess I am grateful that he met me in the first place. I wrote poetry about that man actually. Poetry all about, like in secret, I thought, I wonder how his moans would sound into my neck. I wonder how it would feel to hold his hand or to hold him on a late night when I'm sad. Like, I thought, I love people a lot. I want to be loved as much as I love other people, just as strongly, just as tenderly. I remember my ex Jared said he would actually write me a poem. He was like, I'm a writer, I'm very talented, I can make you a poem. He promised it, build up to Valentine's Day came. I opened the card. It was just some generic happy birthday, baby. I like you, and you're cool, and glad we met. And that was it. That's hell. I don't even think he wrote "Glad we met." He just wrote "Happy birthday, baby. I like you." And then afterwards, he tried to make it up to me. He was like, "Ah, I'm gonna write you a poem. I'm gonna write you one. I'm gonna make it up to you." Guess what? He wrote me a poem that you could tell was made from Chat GPT. I could tell because I sometimes, whenever I get bored, I type in the names of like favorite people in history that I love, and I go, "Hey, Chat GPT, write me a poem about these people." Kind of like the equivalent of making the AI tell me a bedtime story. So I know it's like, hey, guess what? I recognize the formatting, I recognize the wording, I know that these words don't fit in place with each other. Not in the sense of a man who's struggling and Googling shit as he writes. No, you can tell when someone's doing that. I could tell that he was just copy and pasting whatever the fuck he got off of Chat GPT. Like an AI who knows what certain words means but doesn't know how to put them together in the right way and still has glitches and errors. He was using, like, one, it didn't have any grammatical errors. I knew it wasn't Jared. Two, it said dumb shit like a daunting eye, an amazing sneer, and it's like that. None of those words fit together, and you don't even know what daunting means. You don't know what a sneer is. Come on now. And he was so offended that I recognized that it was AI, but guess what? Like, anyway. Yeah, that relationship was fucked. But simply put, I want, like, whenever I have truly loved someone, I would try my best to draw them. I would draw them cartoonishly. I would draw them realistically. I'd be so obsessed with the beauty of their eyes that I would try my best to see if I could replicate their eye shape, the tilt of their nose, the curve of their lips. I love people with distinctive features, especially if I date them, because I find them so fascinating to look at. And if I could have a version of them that I could look at and keep around my house and admire, I would do so. But since I can't marry people yet, or couldn't when I was younger, well, okay, I'm marrying age now. Simply put, it's like, okay, I'm a 17-year-old and I can't marry this dude, but I can draw him, and that's what I can have in my bed every night. Works for me. And even that recent guy I was seeing, I don't even want to say his name. Darn him to heck. I remember I asked what he liked about me, and he could not give an answer, and he said the most bland, generic, obviously ripped off of, like, top 10 things to say that you like about a woman to sleep with her ass, like, way of speaking. It's like, fuck you, nigga. Like, oh, you have nice eyes, and, you're sort of fun, like, you're smart. Like, it's like, yeah, I can feel your passion, Alex. Fuck you, curse his name. And it wasn't even nervousness. He was just trying to neg me. It was a weird tactic he was doing, which is stupid because it's like, nigga, you don't. Oh, like I know it's depressing to say it, but it's like I'm not exactly the hardest person to keep around if like, and I know that's self-deprecating, but it's like really all you have to do is just feed me and be like mostly nice to me. Like you don't even have to really mean the shit. And instead, you go, hey, let me just try like openly and brazenly insulting her and negging her and trying to make her feel worthless. That didn't get him shit, but the only thing he almost got was some fucking hands to the face. But let's not talk about that. I want someone that likes me to the point where if you're a rapper, like if we're in a loving relationship, you're writing me songs. You're rapping them for me on stage every single time. I want it where if you're a poet, you're making poetry about every single detail you adore about me. I want it to be where even if we break up and you decide that as a rapper you want to use the fucking crazy ass voicemails I send you for your fucking diss tracks against me, that's still fucking cool. I want to be known in history as like, okay, he had a girl so fucking beautiful and so fucking bad that he remembered every single detail about her just to shit on her in a song with a melody and it's banger and everybody knows about it. It's like, okay, that's still to me, that's still kind of like a proclamation of how much you loved someone, because if you didn't love them you wouldn't even write them a song in the first place. You'd be like, fuck that bitch and just block her and move on and go, like, you know what I mean? I want someone to be inspired by me and like paint portraits of me or just portraits because they thought of me. I want someone to write because of me, to love because of me. I want that. I do that for others plenty of times. Sometimes I'm just filled with so much love that I'm like, I need to like get into gardening and I'm gonna give this person succulents because I know they struggle and I want them to know that like just like how I nurture them, I want them to feel like there's things on this planet that like are worth living for. I want to give them this plant as like to just be like, hey buddy, here's something else that you can like nurture and care for as well, even on the days you can't care for yourself, and it'll make your home look brighter and give you something to look forward to every morning. I just love romance, and I love people who are creative and inventive. Whenever I see posts online where a guy's like, oh, I'm getting ready to propose for my girlfriend. Oh, she likes this style of ring. I don't know. She wears a lot of silver but looks good in gold. Which one do I get her? And then like they'll post about these elaborate like proposals they'll have on the beach at this forest at this date at this time, and it's just wonderful. And they have like custom rings that they made for her just because they loved her so much. And like they'll remember her favorite piece of cake that she got on their first fucking date or something like that. That's what I love. I love a romantic. Never settle for less. If anything, I'm such a romantic and I have such high standards because I can guarantee that I'm gonna love someone extremely hard in a way that they will always remember. And I can't settle for less. Because if I were to settle for less, that would be a disservice to me. So just like how when I love someone, I'm able to write amazing stories and poetry and send them amazing paragraphs about how much I adore them, several people have told me that they feel like I'm one of the only people in their life that has made them feel loved before. And that feels nice. I think only like one, maybe two of those people, but you know what? It's okay because it has been three people who have told me that. I feel like they've done a solid job of showing me in some ways, if not others. I've had a certain small scale ways too. Like I remember My ex boyfriend Liam showed me how much he actually truly did love me the first Christmas we spent together because he remembered shit about me I didn't even remember telling him. And I just was like, I wanted to cry. I was like, wow. And that's what I love. I want someone who loves me so much where just like I put in a lot of effort and dedication and care into them, they reciprocate. I want someone who adores me so much that they want to just encapsulate my beauty with time and talent and effort until they can make a masterpiece that is only like 1/8 or 1/18 of what the actual experience with me is like, and that seems beautiful. I want that in my life, and I'm gonna have it, and so can you. Peace out.